Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In the previous video, we have completed playlist details part of this project. If you have not seen that video, just go to the description and check out the link. In this video, we are going to work on home page. So let us start with that. Let's go to the VS Code. And inside this one, we have to get inside the playlist services. So get inside this particular file. And then here we have to create a method which is get all public playlists. And inside this one I'm expecting page number, which is by default is set to 0, and the size is number, which is equals to 10, and search, that will be an optional, so question mark string, and it will return observable, and it will return page response. Page response is when we need to import, and then playlist type. So play, then play list, this one, and close this one, and one more time we have to close this. After that, here we have to write let params is equals to new http params, this one, and after that here we have to just set and the first value, which is page, so page comma and page dot to string, and then dot set, and then we have to set the size and size dot to string, and then we have to set the sort order, so here sort, and then we have to pass single quotes id comma in descending order, so desc we have to pass. And if condition we are going to add, let's say if the search value is there, then we have to add that to search, and search dot trim, and inside this one we have to write params equals to params dot set, and then search and search dot trim, and then put semicolon, and after this we have to just return this dot http dot get, and then page response, and then playlist, this one, and close this too. And after that, parenthesis backtick, and then dollar symbol, curly brackets, and this dot base url, and after this curly bracket slash, and get all public playlists, and comma, and then we have to just pass the params, this one over here, and put semicolon. Save this, and after that we have to go to the home.ts file. So inside the features folder we have home component, and get inside the home.ts. Now we have to write the logics over here, so just write here songs, and this is the variable which will store the song type. You have to import this model, and this will be of array type, and by default it is blank. Same way playlists, and here we also need to import this playlist equals to blank, and then loading is equals to true, and then error message is equals to single quotes, close this one, and then we also need to maintain like whatever the current playing song, so current playing song id, and it should be of a number type, number, or it should be also a null, so here just write pass the null. And after that, here the two variables which is related to typing effect, like Musify is writing with animation, right? So for that also we have to write multiple lines or logics, so here we're handling it, so typing interval, and it could be of any and null, and then private and destroy dollar symbol and equals, then we have to pass the new subject, this one we need to import, and void, and close this one. And after that the next one is related to search, so search query, is equals to single quotes, and then playlist search query is equals to single quotes. Close this one. After that, here we have to write the logic stated to song pagination state. So first we are going to write here loading more is equals to false, and current page is equals to 0, and page size is equals to 10, and hash more songs is equals to true. And after that, playlist pagination state. So playlists expanded also we are going to handle it. So let's create that. So expanded true, and loading more playlists is equals to false. And after that, current playlist page is equals to 0, and then playlist page size is equals to 10, and hash more playlists is equals to true. Save this. Just one minor issues here I can see. Here we have to just write playlist, or not this one, current playlist, this one playlist, and then we have to write here page. Correct this one. And after that, here we have to write related to the scroll bar trigger, right? So like we have to copy paste that some methods from other component. So let's go to the layout.html ts file. So inside the shared folder we have layout. Get inside this one layout.ts, and here you can see this line of the code we have to copy paste. So just copy this one, get back to the playlist not playlist, home.ts file, and then paste it over here. Let me format this, and first we have to import this one, import this, and this is related to scroll bar trigger playlist. So scroll bar trigger playlist, and this one is also here. Just import this one, and after that we also need to set up or copy paste this method. So let's go to the again the layout.ts, scroll down, and then we have that method, right? So just copy paste this particular method. Okay, so let me copy paste from here to the home.ts file. So just after this view child, I'm going to paste it over here, and let me format this, and now error is gone. Now here you can see we have an error, so we have to create a method. So just copy the name of this particular method, go to the bottom of it and paste it, and just create this particular one and save this, and now error is gone. So this is related to the playlist. Now we also need to add one more like this. All these lines whatever we added is related to the songs, correct? So let's do copy paste. So let me copy paste this 2 line of the code, and here paste it. Let me format this, and here we are going to first change, and the first will be scroll trigger, and the next one is just remove playlist from here. That's it. So these 2 lines is completed. Now the next method, I'm just going to copy paste this particular method, and just after this, or after this one, I'm going to paste it over here. Let me format this, and now we have to change the names, right? So here we have to change this to scroll trigger. So just remove this part, and then also here also we need to remove. So scroll trigger, here we have to write like this, and after that inside this one also we have to use the scroll trigger, so we can remove it from here, and this one we also need to do it. Before that, let's remove this from here, and here we have to just write here setup infinite scroll, and we have to not this one, scroll this one, and we don't have this method, so we're going to create that method, and we're just going to copy paste this line of the code method. So let's create that method. So let me decrease the size of this one. So this is the method I'm going to copy paste just after this method. paste it over here. Let me format this, and I'm going to copy paste this particular name which is inside the scroll trigger, and so the error will be gone. So now error is gone, but still we have to make changes in the methods. Okay, so let's go to the method setup infinite scroll, and inside this one here we have to just change this dot observer, this one, and this dot observer, this one. This will be the remain same, and this dot observer, this one, and new, this one will be correct, tracking, and then here we have to just change to loading more, and over here we have to just pass hash more song, hash more songs, and then here we have to change a method. So this is related to load more playlist, but here I'm going to create one more method which is load more songs, and this method we are going to call over here. So just change it over here, load more songs, this one, and after this underscore scroll trigger element, and then here also observer, and here also scroll trigger, this one. Save this. Now let's scroll up. So we have created these two methods which is view child, and then we have created two methods which is related to the infinite scroll, and then we are going to call these two methods, correct? Now let's get back to the top of the page, and now we here first we going to implement here implements on init or on destroy. Now we are going to implement these two first, and then we will move forward. Okay, so just after like view child, let's do one thing. Let's create a constructor, and then we are going to write the logic state to ng on it and all. So constructor, and then private, and song service, and song service, this one, comma, and then private playlist service, and playlist service, this one we need to import. Let me put a curly bracket so error will be gone, and after that private music player service, and here we have to write music player service, this one, and after that private, and then dialog and mat dialog, this one, and then private router, and then router, this one, and then private notification service, and notification service, this one, and then private cdr and change reduction reference we need to import from the core. Let me format this, save this, and after that we have to implement the ng on init. So just after this constructor we are going to write a ng on init, this one. Inside this one we are also going to call a method to loads all the data, so that we can just write it just after this one. So let's create here a method. So this dot load data not this, sorry, my bad, over here just write like this, load dot data, and just call this method. So this dot load data. Okay, and okay, it's throwing some error. Okay, ng on destroy, we have to implement it, no need to worry about it. We're going to implement just after this method. Okay, and inside this ng on it, then we have to write the logics related to the like song, which particular song is playing. So this dot playlist or music player, so music player dot current song, this one, dot pipe, and then take until this one rxjx, we have to import this, and then this dot destroy, and after this we have to dot subscribe, this one, and then song, and then curly brackets, and this dot current play song id is equals to song question mark dot id is null over here, right, like this, and then put semicolon over here. And after this, we have to write the logic stated to ng on destroy. So ng on destroy, and over here we have to write this dot destroy dot next, and this dot destroy dot complete. And let's save this. Let's see if error is gone. So now error is gone, you can see. And after that, we also need to clear the observers and all. And if this dot observer, then this dot observer dot disconnect. And after that, if this dot playlist observer, this one, and then this dot playlist observer dot disconnect. Sorry, or we have to just put the parenthesis. And after that, if this dot typing interval is also there, then clear timeout, and this dot typing interval. So we also managing the typing effect, right? So that also need to be cleaned. So our ng destroy part is also completed. Now we have to write the logic stated to start typing effect, right? So just after ng destroy, let's create a method, and that will be private method because we are going to use it over here only. And then start typing effect, and then we have const text is equals to musify, put semicolon, and then const typing element is equals to document dot query selector, this one, and then dot, then single quotes dot typing text, and then put semicolon. If not typing element, then we have to just return, and let, after that, let char index is equals to 0, and is, and then let is deleting is equals to false. And after that, here const type is equals to parenthesis and then arrow and then curly brackets, and then const current text is equals to text dot substring, and then just pass the 0 and comma and char index, and then we have to show the blinking cursor that moves with it, right? So the typing element dot inner html is equals to current text, and then add and single quotes, then we have to write a span class and equals to, then double quotes, and here we are going to write a typing cursor, and then close this one, double quotes, and then here we have to close this one arrow with this arrow. This is 2 times double quotes, just remove once, and after that here pipe, and then span going to be closed over here, and then put semicolon. And after this, if not is deleting, and char index is less than text dot length, then we have to char index plus plus, or this dot typing interval is equals to set timeout, and over here we have to just write type and then 150. We have to just pass typing speed over here, and then we have else if condition, and if not is deleting, and char index is equals to text dot length and then curly, and this dot typing interval is equals to set timeout, and then arrow curly brackets and is deleting is equals to true, and then we have to call this type. So just after this line type, and put semicolon, and then we have to pause after typing, right? So then just give us 2000 seconds, not seconds, 2000 milliseconds, so 2 seconds we can say. So now our else if condition is also completed. Now outside of this one, so else if condition again, and here is deleting, and char index is greater than 0. In that case, char index we are going to just remove, and this dot typing interval is equals to set timeout, and here we're going to just write type and comma and 100, and here put semicolon, and after that outside of this else if condition, next else if condition we have to add, and here is deleting, and char index is equals to 0, and in that case this dot typing interval is equals to set timeout, and after that here we have to just write is deleting is false, is deleting is equals to false, and then we have to call this type, not this one, type method, and after that over here just after this particular one which is closed over here, which is related to getting passed in the typing interval where curly brackets closed, put comma and just 500 over here, and pause, basically it is pause before retyping, so that's why we have just adding 500. Okay, and once this particular calls type method is completed, just call this one, so just write here type and then call this. Okay, now our type method is also completed. Now we have to write the logics related to load data. So let's write here. So inside this one here we have to write this dot loading is equals to true, and this dot error message is going to remove if it have any. So this dot current page is equals to 0, and this dot current playlist and page is equals to 0, and then we're also going to clear this dot songs. In the same way we are going to clear the this dot playlists, and then here we have to fetch two APIs at one go, which is related to get all songs and get all playlist. So let's write here promise this one, promise dot all, and then parenthesis and the array, and inside this one we are going to write first value from. So whatever the first value it will get, it will just return over here, and it will wait to complete both the processes. Okay, and then here we have to write this dot song service, not this song service dot get all songs, and inside this one we have to pass this dot current page comma this dot page size comma and this dot search query. You have to just pass these all the values, then put comma, and then first value from we have to pass, and this dot playlist service dot get all public playlists, we have to pass this one, and inside this one this dot current page size we have to pass, or this not size, this dot current playlist page, this is the variable current playlist page, this one, and this dot play list page size this one, and then this dot playlist search query, this one. Let me decrease the size of this one, and after this one then okay, let me scroll to the left, and after this get closed, then press enter, then write dot, then to handle the if we get the response, then 2 times parenthesis and then square brackets, and then we have to write songs response and then comma playlists list response, and inside one parenthesis we have to just put this array and then curly brackets, and then you can see error is gone. Now we have to write the logics related to it, like appending the songs and all those things. So this dot songs is equals to songs response dot content, and this dot hash more songs and not songs response dot last, and this dot playlist lists is equals to playlist play list response and dot content, this dot hash more playlist not playlists response dot last, and after that this dot loading we are going to make it as false, and this dot ctr dot detect changes, this one we have to call, and then we also need to call the starting typing effect, because all the data is loaded, then the view is ready to show. So start typing effect, this one, and after that this one we have to write the logic related to catch. So if any error occurs, so how to handle that, so parenthesis, after that curly brackets, and over here this dot error message, and here we have to just write failed to load content, please try again later, and then this dot songs is equals to blank, and this dot playlists is also making as blank, and this dot loading is equals to false. Save this. Now let's scroll down, and inside this method we have to just change the little bit of root margin, make it as 200 px, and scroll down. Then we also have this setup infinite scroll, so you can also make it as 200 px, and inside this one you have noticed we have observer, and O is capital but we want it should be small, so it will not gonna cause any issue. If you want you can continue with that, but I wanted to change this, so here I'm going to get inside over this particular variable, right click, and then we'll get rename symbol option and just change this to small o and press enter. So what it will do is all the places where this particular variable is used, it will replace all over the place. So let's go to the same method again, and here you can see it has been changed. Not only at this particular place, all the places where it is used, it has been changed. So this one is also completed. Now it's time to write the logic related to the load more playlist. So let's write the logic over here, and if this dot loading more playlist or not this dot hash more playlist, then we are going to just return okay this dot load more playlists, okay loading more playlists, my bad. So loading more playlist, this one loader we have to okay activate it. So this dot loading more playlist is equals to true, and after that this dot current playlist page, current playlist page, and then we have to add increment basically, and this dot playlist service dot get all public playlist, this one, and in this one we have to pass this dot current playlist page, and then this dot playlist page size comma, and this dot playlist search query, and then we have to subscribe and curly brackets, and then here we have to write next, and then response, and curly brackets over here, then this dot playlists lists is equals to dot 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 this dot playlists, a comma, dot 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 response dot content, and after that this dot hash mode playlists is equals to not response dot last, and this dot loading mode playlists is equals to false. And after this, next we have to also handle the error. So error, and if you want to print, you can print it, or you can just want to show some particular message, you can also do that. So I'm just making it as loading more playlist is equals to false, and this dot current page playlist, this one, and I'm just going to make it as decrease. Okay, it should be not loading, it should be loading more playlist. It always I go with the load, so it just call this method, which is not correct. So this dot notification services dot error, and then here we have to just pass filled to load mode playlist playlists, and please try again, and put colon over here, and our this load mode playlist part is also completed. Now we have to write the logics in the load mode songs. So what we can do is we are going to just copy paste this line of the code inside the load mode songs over here, and we are just going to replace the whatever it is required. So here whatever the place is loading more playlist, here we have to just change this dot loading more. So just copy this one, and all the places like this, over here, all these three places we have to change that. After that, over here we have hash more songs, this one, and we have to replace as I think only one place over here. So just replace this one, hash more songs, and after that here loading more, this is correct, and over here we have to just write current page. Okay, and then inside this one over here we have to write song services, and then we have to call a method which is get all songs, and then we have this dot current page, and this dot page size, and this dot search query, and this dot songs, here we have to write songs, and this dot songs, and response dot content, which is correct, hash more songs, which is correct, content, this loading more, false, this one is also correct, and over here we have to just change current page, we have to just, so now the loading more songs is also ready. Now the next method, which is like on search playlist, we have to, so on search playlists, and in this one also I'm going to copy paste the same line of the code from this load more playlist. This line of the code I'm just going to copy paste from here, and we are going to do the modification inside this one. So let's paste it over here. Let me format this, save this one, and the first line we have to remove is this one because this is not related to loading more, and over here I'm just this one will be the line, correct, and the page is not going to change, so just remove the not this one, this one we have to just remove this, and after that over here we have to just write this dot current page or current playlist page is equals to 0, we have to set, and also this dot playlist we have to just make it as blank, and then this particular API is correct, we have to call it, this one we have to pass this, all these variables are correct, and then playlist we don't have to write like this, we have to just append response dot content, so just write like that, and after that also we have to remove this square bracket and response dot content and hash more playlist, and this one loading more playlist, which is false, and over here, and so this one is correct, and over here we have to just change this one as this dot loading or not loading, this dot playlists is equals to blank, we have to just remove this, and here we have to just change fill to search playlist. This is a message we will show to the users. And after that, the next method, which is like clear playlist search, and inside this one, this dot playlist search query is equals to single quotes, and this dot on search playlists, we have to call the method. Okay, and after that, the next method, which is on search, which is will be used inside our songs. So the logic will be remain similar to whatever we have. So in the load more songs, so I'm just going to copy paste this part of the code from here and going to paste it inside this particular search. Let me format this, save this, and after that over here we are going to just setting this current page is equals to 0 0, put semicolon, and then this dot songs is equals to like removing all the values, and then this dot current page size search query, which is correct, then song, and then we have to just pass the response dot content. We don't need this, has more songs, loading more, which is correct, and then this one we don't need over here. We have to just change this one dot loading, or not, this one dot songs is equals to this one, close this one, and failed to search, here we have to just change failed to search songs. And while typing, I have noticed there's a one small text change we have to do it. And if I go over here, you can see load more songs. We have this one, which is not correct, right? Because this is related to the load more songs. So here we have to just change playlist to songs, and then scroll back over here at the on search page, on search method. And after that, we have to write the logic related to the clear search. So just after this one, so clear search, and inside this one we have to write this dot search query, and then we have to just going to set as blank, and this dot on search, we have to just call this method. And after that, here we have to write the logic related to play song, so play song, and inside this one I'm expecting a song over here and also the song type. And after that, here const clicked index is equals to this dot songs dot find index, and then song we have to pass s dot id, and then song dot id, and then this dot music player dot set queue, and then we have to just write this dot songs comma, and clicked index is greater than equals to 0, and question mark, and clicked index we have to pass or else 0. And after that, the next method, which is related to open playlist, so open playlist, basically it will route to the playlist details page, so playlist, and over here I'm expecting playlist, and then close this one, and over here we have to just write this dot router dot navigate, and here we have to just write single quote slash playlist, and after that this single quotes we have to just write playlist dot id, and then put semicolon, and then we also we have to also options to play playlist, so it will start playing that particular song, so play playlist, and over here we have to just write event, and then event comma, and playlist, and it should be also of type playlist. Okay, we have to import. Okay, it's throwing some kind of error. Okay, inside this one we have writing, which is not correct. Just copy paste this one, and it should be inside the over here. Now it is gone, and then event dot propagate, stop propagate this one, and then we have to call the API. which is related to get playlist with songs. Okay, so over here we have to just write this dot player music player service dot get playlist get, not this one. Okay, it should be not player, it should be playlist service, this one, dot get playlist with songs, this method. And in this one we have to just pass the playlist dot id, and then we have to subscribe to this, and then here we have to write next, and over here we have to write play lists with songs, and then curly brackets. And over here, if playlists with songs and playlists with songs dot length is greater than 0, then only we are going to create a map. So just write here const songs, and here song model we have to import, and then equals playlist list with songs dot map, and then s, which knows songs, and then parenthesis curly brackets. After that, okay, there's a lots of lines are there. I think one extra parenthesis is created, so just remove over here and over here too. And after that, over here we have to just write id and s dot song id, and then title, and then s dot title, and after that artist and s dot artist, and song url s dot song url, and after that image url s dot image url, and created at, just we don't need to pass, and app user id we are going to just pass 0, and then app user name I'm just going to pass as blank like this, and then put semicolon over here. After this songs, this particular line, the next line which is related to this dot playlist, or not playlist services, it will be a music player service dot set queue, and then we have to pass the songs, and then we have to pass the index on which it need to be placed, so 0, and then this dot router dot navigate, and then slash playlists comma, not okay, it should be in single quotes, so just put over here single quotes, and after that where the single quotes close, here we have to write playlist dot id, and then put semicolon, and after that this if condition else condition, it to just to notify that okay, this dot notification service dot warning, and here we have to just show this dot playlist is empty, and then put semicolon, save this. Now after that this next part is completed. Now we have to write the logic related to the error. So error, and error, whenever you see the error, after that here we have to just write const error message is equals to error question mark dot error question mark dot message, and then here we have to just pass filled to load playlist songs, and please try again. And after that we also need to notify to the user, so this dot notification services dot error, and then error message we have to pass, and then put semicolon. After that this particular method is also completed, which is related to play song. The next method, which is so just go outside of this particular method, let me also do the format, save this, We don't have any error. And now we have to write here open add to play list dialog, and then we have to pass event, and then event, and then song, and then song type we have to pass, and event dot stop propagations, and this dot dialog dot open, and then we have to pass the playlist selector dialog, this one which we have created in the past videos, and then comma, then curly brackets, and then width, and then 450 px we have to pass the size, and then we have to pass the max width which is of 90 vw, then comma, and panel class. Okay, why it's showing these suggestions? Okay, panel class. After that, here over here we have to write custom dialog container, and then we have to pass the data, then curly brackets, and then we have to pass the song. So now it will open the dialog over here. Now the next method, which is related to the is currently playing. So this is the currently playing method we have to create, and inside this one the song ID we are going to pass, and which is of number type, and just going to return this dot current playing song ID is equals to song ID. We have to just return, and then we also need to toggle the playlist, right? So we can hide the playlist and show or extend or de-extend that playlists, and this dot playlist expand playlist expanded, this one, and it should be not whatever the value is there, it will be just revert or change it. So playlist expands. Save this. So now our TS file is completed. Now we have to go and copy paste this CSS. So let me copy paste this. Let me go to the CSS file and paste it over here. Save this. We don't have any error. Now let's go to the HTML. Let's remove this and write here div class and home container, this one, and close this one. And inside this one, first we are going to write the code related to loading state. So div star ngif loading class loading container, and then animate fed in, close this one, then mat spinner, and diameter is 60, and after that color tint, and then class animate plus this one, and then just close this matter spinner. After this, the next line is to show a text. So paragraph class loading text, and then animate fade in this one, and then delay 300. And after that, here we have to write the text which is loading your music, and then dot dot dot. And after that, this loading state or this method or this div is completed. Now the next one, which is related to the error. So div star ngif is equals to not loading and error message, and then class and error container and animate shake, this one, and then close this one. And after that, you have to write here mat icon, and then class error icon, and after that animate bounce, and then we have to write here error outline. And after this mat icon, the next one is button mat raised button, and color ancient, and on click we have to call a method. So loading or load data method, we have to call this one, and then we have to class and animate mate fed in this one, and then delay 300, and then hover lift this one, and then we have to show a icon, mat icon, close this one, refresh, and after this mat icon, let's write here try again. This one, save this. Now the error state is also completed, which is this one is related to error. Now the next method is related to the container, which is actual container where we are going to show all the welcome and all those things. So let's create here div class, and over here instead of class, let's make it as star nj if condition, if not loading and not error message, the last one, this one, and then we are going to show this particular div, and inside this one div class, and here welcome section, and then animate fed in this one, close this one, then right here h1 class, and then welcome title, and then animate slide, and it should be down, close this one, and then we have to write here welcome to, and then span, and then class, and then we have to write typing text this one, and then close this one. And after that, after this h1, the next div, which is p, not div, which is a paragraph, and welcome subtitle this one, and animate fed in, and delay 300. Oh sorry, my bad, a delay 300, and then you have to write here message your personalized music streaming experience. And if I save this, if I go to the UI, and here you can see see the text welcome to, and you can also see this musify animation over here. It's get added and it's get removed, and its typing effect is there, so everything is working fine at this point. Let's get back to the VS Code, and after that, this particular section, welcome section, after that we have to go write the logic. So outside of this particular div and inside this loading and error container. Okay, so here we have to write the related to the playlist. So div class and content section, animate fed in, and delay 400, and then close this one, and then here we have to write div class and section header, and close this one, then we have to write here h2 class and section title, and animate slide right this one, and then we have to write here public play lists, and after that here we have to show a button to expand or revert, and so here we have to write mat icon button and class toggle button and space hover scale this one, and on click we have to call a method, so click, and then here we have to pass toggle play lists, and then close this one, and inside over here we have to write mat icon and curly brackets, and then playlist and expanded and question mark, and here we have to write expand underscore less and or expand underscore more. Okay, so this is related to the section header part. So this is the section header part, and now we have to write the logics related to the like search and all those things, right? So just after this, let's create one more div star ng if, and if playlist extend expanded, this one is true, then we have to show this section, and this one playlist content wrapper, this one, close this one, then div class search section, and then search section playlist, this one, and div class and search bar, and close this one, and then mat icon and class search icon, and then close this one, and here we have to write search, not this one, search. And after this search icon, we need to show a input field. So let's write here input, and then type text, and after that text class search input, this one, and then placeholder and search for playlists, and then we have to use ng model. So ng model, and here we have to write playlist search query, and on key up dot enter we have to call a method which is on search playlists, and then we have to close this particular one input field. After that we have to add a button, so whenever there is a text, then we can show this. So start ng if and playlist search query, and after that here we have to write mat icon button, and then class and clear search button, and after that here on click we have to call a method which is clear playlist search, and after this we have to close this button, and inside this one over close before the closing tag of button we have to add here mat icon, and here we have just to add close. Just save this, and also let's format this one. Okay, so now this particular search section part is completed, so this particular div part is completed, and now we have to write the logics related to show the horizontal playlist scroll, right? So just outside of this one and inside of this playlist extend part we have to write the logic. So whenever this tag is closed, we have to create here a div class playlists and scroll container, and then a star ng if and playlists dot length is greater than 0. Close this one, and after that here we have to write div class playlist and then greet. Close this one, and inside div one we have to write div and loop. Here we are going to use ng for loop, and let playlist of playlists, and then we have to pass a class and playlist list card, this one, and then hover left, this one, and animate scale in, and after that let me decrease the size of this one, and after that here we have to call the click On the click, we have to call a method which is open playlist, and here we have to just pass the playlist. So playlist over here, and then close this particular div. And inside this one, we have to write the logics to show the card and everything. So let's write here div and class and playlist cover, this one, and then ng class is equals to, and the curly brackets inside this one, and after that single quotes and hash dash image colon, and then we have to pass the playlist list dot image URL over here, and then close this one div. And after that, here we have to use show the image, image tag star ng if, and if not, playlist dot image URL, and then class sorry, it should be image. Okay, it should be if image exists, then we have to show this one, or else we have to show the icon. Okay, so image over here, let's remove this, and here we have to write src equals and playlist dot image URL, and then we have to pass the auth image pipe, and after that, here we have to write alt and then playlist dot name, and then we have to pass the class playlist cover image, this one, and then close this particular image tag. And after that, here we have to show the icon. So if image does not exist or does not load, so that we can show something. So if it is not playlist dot image URL does not exist, in that case we are going to use or show this particular icon. So playlist dash icon, and then it should be library underscore music, and close this one. And after that, here we have to show a button. So button mat icon button, and class play button, and hover glow green, this one, and hover scale, and on click we have to call or pass to the or play. So play playlist and dollar event comma playlist, we have to pass whatever we want to play, and then close this one, and then here we have to pass the icon. So mat icon and play underscore arrow, and our this particular div playlist cover part is completed. So just this particular div which is getting closed over here. After that, we have to write the logics related to show the name, description, and app username. So just write just after this, and create a div class playlist info, and then close this one, and h3 and class playlist dash name, and close this one, and playlist dot name. And after this h3, the next one is paragraph, which is class and playlist description, and then close this one, curly brackets, close this one, and over here playlist dot description, or not this one, description, or if not exists, so we have just going to pass the no description, but we will always have value because this field is a required value. So you can also ignore this one if you want. And after that, here p class, and then we are going to write here playlist meta, this one, and close this one, and by, and then we have to pass this playlist dot app user name, and just save this. Now our logic related to loop is also completed. So if I let me decrease the size of this one. So if you see, this is the loop we have started it, correct? And we have to get inside this particular playlist grid and the outside of this particular loop. Now we have to write the logic which is related to playlist loading indicator. So here we are going to create a div class and playlist loading card and star ngif, and here loading more playlists, and then close this one, and here mat spinner diameter is 40, and then color isn't, and class animate plus pulse, this one, close this one, and after that here paragraph class and loading text small and animate fed in this one, and then we have to just pass a loading dot, and after that the next step is to indicate inside the horizontal scrolling, so end basically you can say, so just where it is this particular div close. After that we have to write the logic. So div class, okay, this is a capital div which is not correct. Okay, this should be small, this playlist grid by mistake I have make it as capital, so just correct this. Now get back over here, just after this one we have to write, so div class and playlist end card, this one, and then the star ngif not hash more playlist, this variable we have to just pass over here, and not loading more playlist. Okay, okay, by my bad, this is for loading this one, and also we have to add over here hash more play lists. If it is false, then we have to show this this particular one, so mat icon and class end icon. Okay, and then close this one, and here we have to write check underscore circle, and then we have to show here paragraph class end text small, and here we have to just pass the message all playlists lists loaded. And after that here a scroll trigger, that one we have to add. So just after this particular div closed, here we have to write div hash scroll trigger playlists, and then class scroll trigger and horizontal, this one, and then close this one. Now this part, this div one is also completed, which is playlist scroll container. So this div is gonna complete it over here. So if I decrease this, so this part is completed. Now just after this get close, right, now we have to write the logic related to empty playlist state. Okay, like whenever we search something, right, it does not match, so that time it shows the empty, right? So like for that we have to write the logic. So div star ngif and playlist dot lists dot length is equals to 0, and not loading more playlists, and then class empty state and animate fed in, this one, and then closes, and after that here mat icon class empty icon animate float, and then library music, and then here we have to write h2 class animate fed in and animate float, and then close this one, and then over here. Okay, so just one small change. So animate over here float we don't have to write, we have to just write here delay 200, and after this where we have to write no playlists found, and after that here we have to show the different messages, like let's say if the playlist search is not there, so we are going to show that okay, be the first to create something like that, or if value exists, in that case we will show the message try to adjust your search. So that type of messages, different messages here we want to show. So here let's create a paragraph and star ngif and playlist search query, this one, and class animate fed in, and then delay 300, and close this one and try adjusting your search if not this one search, and after that the next line is exactly same, just minor text change, and this one will be changed, so just add here not, and over here we have to just write here be the first to create a playlist, right, like this. Save this one. Now our playlist part is completed. Now it's time to test this. Let's get back over here, and here you can see it started showing this one. If I click on this particular one, let's say, and we are able to get inside this one, let's get back to the home again, and here you can see the symbol all playlist is loaded, right? So this one is also working as expected. Now if I want to test the pagination, right, so in that case we have to just go to the home, and let's scroll up, and over here if you see this playlist size, just make it as 1, so it should automatically call that API to fetch all the records one by one. So you can see there's a there should be a 2 API call. Let's go to the network tab, and let's refresh this. Now here you can see get all public playlist, and here you can see the payload which we have sent it 01, and in the same way it calls one more page 1 and page 1 size it has sent to the backend, so it means it's working as expected. Now let's get back to over here, let's revert this page size to 10, and let's get back to the home.html, because we are able to see the playlist, we are able to see this, everything is working as expected. Now we have to write the logic outside of this particular content section, and if you see here, right, so this is the where this is getting closed. So let's scroll to the bottom, and it getting closed over here. So inside this particular or after this one we have to write the logic. So here we have to write dev class and content section, and then animate fed in and delay 600, and then close this one, and then h2 class section title and animate slide, and then write, and then close this one all songs, and then same way we have to add the search thing, fields and all those things. So over here we have tried dev class and search section, and close this one, then dev class search bar, and close this one, and inside this one we have to write mat icon class search icon, and then close this one, and here we have to just write search and then input field, so input type input, then type text, and then class search. Okay, it should be class search input, and after that place holder, and here we have to just write search for songs or artists dot dot dot, and then ng model and equals to search query, and then key up dot enter, and on search we have to just pass the value, and after that here we have to add a button, so button star ng if and search query, this one, and after that here we have to add a icon button, so mat icon button, and class clean search button, and then on click we have to call a method, so click and clear search, and then close this one, and over here we have to just write mat icon, and then we have to just write here close. Let me format this, save this one. Now our search section part is completed, so this is getting closed over here. So now after this we have to write the logics related to the song list. So just after this particular div closed, we have to write here div class and then songs list, and then star ng if and songs dot length is greater than 0, then only we have to show this particular div, and then we have to write here div star ng for loop, and let song of songs colon and semicolon, and then let I is equals to index, and then class and song item, and then animate fed in, and hover brightness, and after that ng class and curly brackets, and over here we have to write now single quotes now playing, and after that here colon, and then we have to call a method to which is currently playing, and then we have to just pass this song dot id, so it will check okay if it is match or not match, and it will return the status. As per that we are going to highlight this particular row or not. Okay, after that we have to also on click method we can also need to play the song, so play song, and inside that one we are going to pass the particular song, and then close this one div. Inside this one we are going to just write the sequence, cover, as well as song title and all those things. We are going to, and also going to give options to add to the playlist. So this inside this particular div we have to write all those logics, so div class and song index, and then close this one, curly brackets I plus 1, and then close this one, and after that div class and song cover, and then close this one, and then img src and song dot image url and auth image, and then alt song dot title, and close this one. And after that, here on button, so mat icon button and class play button small, and hover glow green this one, and hover scale this one, and then close this one, and mat icon and close this one, play underscore arrow this one. And so this song cover part is also completed. So this is the song cover where it is getting closed, and just after this we have to write the logics related to the song information. So dev class song info, and then close this one, and h4 class and song title, and over here song dot title, and after this h4 paragraph class and song dot artist, close this one, and over here we have just write song dot artist, and after that this song information is also completed. Now the next dev is related to the a button to add the into the playlist. So dev class song actions, and then close this one, and over here we have to just add a button mat icon button over here, and then class and add to playlist button and hover scale, and let me decrease this one again, and on click we have to call a method which is open add to playlist dialog, and in this one we have to pass the event, so dollar event comma, and then we have to pass the song. After that, here title and add to playlist we have to just pass, and then close this one, and over here we have to just pass mat icon and playlist underscore add. Just format this, save this one. Now the div related to song list is also completed. So this is the div which is getting closed over here. So just after this we are going to write the logic related to the load songs and scroll to the bottom and all the other logics whatever we have for the list. So just after this one where it is getting closed, we have to create a div. So div class and loading more container, and then star ngif loading more and songs dot length is greater than 0. Close this one, and then mat spinner diameter is 40, and then color is ancient, and then class animate pulse this one, and then close this. And after this over here we have to just write p class and loading more text, and then animate fed in and loading more songs and dot dot dot. Now this div is also completed. Now outside of this particular div, here we are going to add here div and hash scroll trigger class scroll trigger this one, and then close this div. Now we have to write the logic related to the end of the song. So div class and end of list, and then star ng if not hash more songs and not loading more and songs dot length is greater than 0. Then close this one, and here we have to just add a paragraph, and you have to just show the message you have reached to the end of the list. And so this div is also completed. Now the next div, which is related to the empty song state. So let's create here a div, and star ng if and songs dot length is equals to 0 and not loading more and class empty state and animate fed in and mat icon class empty icon and animate float and music note. And after this we have to just write here h2 like no songs found, something like that message. So animate fed in and delay 200, and here we have to just write no songs found, and then on basis of search query text we have to show the different messages. So star ng if and search query and class animate fed in and delay 300, and here we have to just write try adjusting your search. And I'm going to just copy paste this line of the code and over here and putting not symbol, and here I'm just going to change the text to start by uploading some songs, and save this. And okay, we have some errors I can see over here. Okay, search query we have some issues, let's check it out. So here I have noticed there's two issues are there. So first issue is inside this input field. So if you see right here ng model, so here we have to add just L at the end and just save this, so error will be gone. And one more issue is here. Now inside this particular song list we have div which is loop, and here in the ng class here we have to just remove this L, so it should be playing and L was extra, so just remove that and save this. Let's get back over here and let's remove this. If I scroll down I can see all the three songs over here. If I write something and press enter, so you can see no song found. I can see try adjusting your search because we have some songs. And after this you can see there's options of add the songs to your playlist. We are getting these options. If I click on this one I can add to the, if I click on this one it will try to add that, and you can see there's a error is. Now close this one, and after that let's click on this one, and here let me mute this and let me click over here, and you can see if I click on the next button, right, it should move to the next one. If I go to the previous, it will go to the previous, and if it reaches to the end it will just pause. It will not gonna change to the top or first position because this is not in the mode. So if I click on this one it will change, and now it will play again. If I reach to the end it should go to the first one, so you can see it is getting maintained. So this song one is also working as expected, and our home page is also completed. Now here you can see this all songs and everything. If I refresh this one you can see it's gone, and here you can see the animation, you can see scroll down, you can see the all songs, and if I want to hide and show, you can do that. Okay, so everything is working as expected on the home page. I hope you guys like this video, so please hit like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.